it appeared to show an Israeli soldier, an IDF soldier, using a sledgehammer to smash the face of a statue of Jesus.
Tucker Carlson just exposed 61 documented attacks on Christians by Israeli forces, while America sends them billions in aid. This isn't anti-Semitism. It's hard evidence of systematic persecution that evangelical leaders refuse to acknowledge. We're breaking down every shocking detail he revealed.
Real. And that raised a whole new set of questions, beginning with, why would an Israeli soldier want to smash the face of Jesus?
Notice how Israeli officials immediately focused on damage control, not condemning the desecration itself. This reveals their actual priorities, managing optics for American audiences while the persecution continues unchallenged on the ground.
Did you hear that? The problem with an IDF soldier smashing the face of Jesus is not that he smashed the face of Jesus. The problem is that he got caught on camera.
This perfectly captures the inversion of moral priorities. The crime isn't smashing Jesus's face, it's getting filmed doing it. Classic authoritarian thinking where image management trumps basic human decency every single time.
So that's the message to American evangelicals. Carefully crafted, no question. And the message is this: not only does this not tell you anything about attitudes in Israel toward Christians or Christianity, assuming that it does makes you a liberal engaged in cancel culture.
This is textbook psychological manipulation, making the victim feel guilty for noticing their own persecution. It's the same tactic abusers use. You're the problem for complaining, not us for hurting you. Evangelicals are being gaslit on an industrial scale.
In fact, it's a very common occurrence where the Israeli military desecrates Christian religious symbols and churches and kills Christians.
What's coming next isn't isolated incidents. It's systematic targeting. Gaza provided a laboratory for anti-Christian persecution because global attention was focused elsewhere. The documentation is overwhelming and undeniable.
Christian churches were bombed intentionally multiple times in Gaza. Christian parishioners were murdered by the IDF in Gaza. A mother and daughter were shot to death by an Israeli sniper in a churchyard in Gaza.
Israeli military uses precision-guided munitions and advanced targeting systems. When churches get bombed repeatedly, it's not accidental collateral damage. It's deliberate targeting of Christian infrastructure. The technology proves intent.
At one point, an Israeli tank fired an artillery shell into a cross on top of a Christian church in Gaza, as if it couldn't get clear what the point of this was. The point was to take down the cross because the cross is so offensive, apparently.
Tank gunners don't accidentally hit specific symbols on building tops. That cross was deliberately targeted because it represents Christianity. This is ideological warfare disguised as military operations. The precision makes it undeniable.
So offensive that in some Israeli religious schools, the plus sign is not used in math. The plus sign, that connotes addition. Why? Because it looks like a cross.
Think about how deep this anti-Christian hatred runs. Even basic mathematical symbols are banned in religious schools because they resemble crosses. This isn't political disagreement. It's visceral religious hostility embedded in educational systems.
The only reason the United States, on a bipartisan basis, has sent billions and billions and billions of dollars to the Israeli government is because Christian Zionists support it.
American Christians are literally funding their own persecution through tax dollars. Every aid package to Israel includes money that enables the very forces attacking Christian communities. It's the ultimate betrayal by their own government.
These are Israeli soldiers inside a church mocking Christian rights, holding a kind of black mass. This is real. Watch this.
What you're about to see is Israeli soldiers conducting mock satanic rituals inside Christian churches and filming it proudly. This isn't war. It's deliberate religious desecration for entertainment. The footage speaks for itself.
That's inside a church. They not only did that, they filmed it and then posted it because they were proud of it, because no one told them not to be. Try doing that in a synagogue. Don't do that in a synagogue. It would be completely immoral to do that in a synagogue, to desecrate someone else's sacred space.
The double standard is crystal clear. Desecrating Jewish religious sites would trigger international condemnation and hate crime charges. But mocking Christianity in churches? Complete silence from media and politicians who claim to defend religious freedom.
That provides free abortion on demand to the entire population using your tax dollars. Oh, they're not your tax dollars. Right. The United States gives so much money to Israel that its basic needs are met.
American aid money flows so freely to Israel that it covers basic government functions, freeing up their domestic budget for policies that directly contradict Christian values. Pro-life Americans are subsidizing abortion on demand abroad.
Resemblance to their description of it at all. A country of people, or some people anyway, who literally won't use the plus sign because it looks like a Christian cross. That is a pride parade in the middle of the Holy Land. They're totally fine with it.
Evangelical leaders have constructed an entire mythology about Israel that requires ignoring massive evidence to the contrary. They're more committed to their political narrative than protecting actual Christians suffering real persecution.
And she said, well, they've worked to accelerate the ethnic cleansing of this area. They've come in and offered to help us move on behalf of the Israeli government to get the Arabs out, people who were born there, who are the indigenous population of the area. The Christian leaders in the United States have said the solution to your problem is leave.
American Christian leaders aren't just ignoring persecution, they're actively facilitating ethnic cleansing of Christians from biblical lands. They're telling indigenous Christian communities to abandon their ancestral homes rather than demanding protection.
And I hope that you will get support from Christians in the United States because you deserve it.
The betrayal is complete. American Christians fund the persecution of Middle Eastern Christians through tax dollars while their leaders encourage abandoning biblical lands. It's time to demand accountability from politicians and pastors enabling this systematic destruction.